Okay, so this is the Kodai for theory and the Martini for vocal technique. Now, we're already 6 chapters in, so you're gonna have to catch up, dude, okay? All right, everybody up at the piano.
John Papsadira and his team, I've seen, like, reached out to 1,000 boys. And then maybe I've seen 200 or 250 auditions. And then you get lost, like this parade of like young actors reading and on tape, and then eventually Garrett showed up, and I got really excited, and I shared the excitement with the producers and everybody around, and then I think, you know, there's a part of luck, but you have to be very patient. I'm still surprised that we actually gathered like that ensemble. It's a small movie. There was, you know, little money to attract them. They came to be, I think Dustin is a big factor. Dustin is a big factor. They would be kind to me and say that they want to do it because of me, but I perfectly know that, like, we're all there for Dustin. Dustin is a draw. Everybody wants to be around him and be part of his extraordinary journey.
Remember, Handel liked big music. He's a crowd pleaser. That means you've got to sing out and over and through the orchestra.
I was really shocked because I'm just a 12-year-old kid from Texas, just like Stet, and to be in a major motion picture with such actors like Dustin Hoffman and Kathy Bates was surreal, and it was amazing. Francois is an amazing director, but he's tough too. I mean, he knows what he wants, and he'll push you, and he'll push you, and he'll push you to get there. And that's what I love about him, because he wants you to succeed, he wants you to prosper, and he wants the best for his movie too. And so he'll work with you until you get it.
Where are you gonna run? He'll just follow you to the next place and the next.
What are you talking about?
You. I'm talking about you. Do you want to know about me? I was a few years older than you. I had a chance. I was at Juilliard, and I wanted piano more than anything else, and the teacher I wanted to impress flunked me straight out, told me, and this is a quote, said I lacked the talent. And that was it. I was gone.
You just left?
I hit him first, then I left.
You know, Francois makes movies that have great nuance and great depth to the layers of the characters that he portrays. Starting from his first films and the theater work that he does, there's always a sense that characters are never black and white, and that the evil or the villain is always much more coming from a place of emotional need. And I mean, that to me is what I was excited about to work with Francois. I mean, he's a director who, I've known his work in multiple levels, and this is a great director. And I think that's obviously when you hear a great director is making a movie with Dustin Hoffman, and it's also dealing with this level of beautiful music and beautiful locations, you know, you go like, okay, even though, you know, on paper this character is a very small character, there's a sense of this character being very profound to the story. And so when Francois and I had these great lunches and meetings to discuss it, I jumped at the opportunity. There are moments where I sit and look across the table and it's Eddie Izzard, Kathy Bates, Dustin Hoffman. It's like a moment that you go, wow, these are pinnacles of a career, you know, and it's also been extraordinary to me. I've been very lucky from very early on in my career to work with great actors, but there are moments where you sit and look into Dustin Hoffman's eyes and you go, wow, this is truly, you are working with one of the greatest actors in the history of the art. I know this is a change, but it is for the best.
Stay where you are, Stet.
Let's go now.
Didn't you hear me?
What?
He's not going with you.
He's my son.
Yes, I know. Your secret son.
It was you, wasn't it? You're the one that sent those tickets.
Yes, we sent tickets to all the parents, the majority of whom take an actual interest in their child's well-being.
I think it helps, yes, with playing Mr. Drake, because I did, I was surrounded by those teachers back then, and some were friendlier, some were not so friendly. Usually they were a mixture of friendly and a certain amount of discipline, and some of them I didn't like. A certain head teacher I didn't like, but a couple of those actually, yeah. But it is a certain existence, and it happens as well as in America. The boarding schools here, the boarding schools in Britain, France, Germany. I suppose they're all the same. I haven't visited them all around the world, but you become a certain way. You have to get very tough emotionally to survive it as well. I think the story resonates. I think the story is one that grabs people's attention. A kid from the wrong side of the tracks who just has this voice, this 1 in a million voice, and the music is beautiful. So that's going to work definitely.
Stand up straight. Okay, guys, stop. That's enough. You need to be pushing the books up with your breath, not your belly. Stet, don't sing from your throat. Sounds like you get a frog trapped in there.
Well, I thought the script was lovely, but the thing that really drew me to the project was Francois Girard, because he directed The Red Violin, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. She's a woman who, as I said, at some point she lays down the law, and she has a wonderful scene, and I got to improvise some of that, of what she wants to have happen where we are, in fact, at the cathedral when they give their concert. And you really get to see her erupt all of these feelings that she's been holding inside from the very first scene, where she says, "Oh, I really wish you wouldn't open my mail car bell," because they run the school, Would you do me the courtesy of looking at me when I'm talking to you? Thank you. You all are gonna take that sacred, divine music of Handel's and knock it out of the ballpark. I want to see angels descending from heaven right there in that cathedral. I want people to weep. I want you and your boys to shatter the stained glass windows.
Francois is a genius madman. I think, not to steal something that Dustin Hoffman said, but I will, but I'll give him credit. Because we were doing a scene and Dustin's like, I love it. I love how he directs, because he paints. Because Francois, in every scene, he's not set to one way of doing anything. Working with Dustin Hoffman and Kathy Bates and Eddie Izzard, it's very surreal. I have goosebumps talking about it. I try to play cool all day while I'm here, but it's insane. I feel like I somehow tricked everybody into letting me in at the cool kids table in high school. I don't know how it happened, but it has definitely been one of the most surreal experiences of my entire life.
Hello.
Hi, it's Wooly here. How's Japan? How's Akita? Have you seen any dogs?
Wooly, don't tell me you called me up in the middle of the night to talk about dogs. What is it? Shoot.
I know the boy who's gonna get us to New York.
Who?
Stet Tate. He's made amazing progress. He can go all the way. With him, we really have a shot this year.
Anything else?
No.
Then hang up so I can go back to sleep.